Good evening, everybody. This is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Baseball Talk for Monday, June 20th. My last video took 2 days to upload. That was very disappointing, and I was definitely angry about it, but what can I do? YouTube doesn't even have a customer service thing or any place I can email or call to suggest upgrades or give feedback or anything of the sort. But I'm here at Leroy Hagan Park in my local Vancouver, Washington. Cool thing about it is when the weather is nice, they set up the volleyball courts and people will come out here and play. We got lots of people here playing today. I'm gonna keep on walking so I can get past these people. But man, this is like the first nice day of the year here. Finally, maybe getting some summer.
And it's just not efficient sometimes.
Yeah, Alaska got summer before we did, which is ridiculous. I definitely did not want to come home. I'm definitely unhappy here, and I don't know why I'm unhappy, because I'm more successful here than I've ever been anywhere else. You know, I can afford to travel basically whenever I want. And I don't know, I'm just really lonely. I'm lonely, and I'm so over the dating scene in this area. I don't get it. I don't get why I can go somewhere else, like Juneau, Alaska, and be there for a day and meet somebody, or how I can go to Puerto Rico for 3 days and meet somebody, but I can be in this town for 3 years and I can't meet anybody. I don't get it. I really just don't get it, and I'm over it, and I'm ready to leave. Gotta figure out if I can transfer my job or just take that supervisor position at UPS that I've been putting off, and so I can transfer. Or maybe I'll just have to quit UPS and just start over. I mean, I'll lose my benefits, but it's not like I have a whole lot of seniority anyways. I can start over. I've only got a year. I'm only a year and a half in. Not going to be losing much. I can get my benefits back in 9 months. I don't know. I've lived here for 35 years. I'm over it. I'm ready to go. You know, I'm not happy here. I need to find somewhere that I'm happy. Find somewhere where I can find my person, or, just get my confidence back up, because this ain't it. But man, lots of people out here at this park. This is probably one of the most popular parks in Vancouver. As you can see, pretty nice day. Let's get to it. Let's not waste any more time. I'm not going to go that way. Too many people that way. Probably just keep walking this little patch back and forth. Hitters, it's not the best time, not the best stretch to be picking up hitters. I'm trying to not repeat guys that I've already mentioned, but there will be one repeat in this segment for obvious reasons that will become apparent once I get there. The hitters, my 5 hitters this week: Riley Green of the Tigers. He's my repeat. I said a couple weeks ago you needed to add him before he got called up. Now he's been called up, and his ownership is skyrocketing. He's off to a very strong start, as all the experts kind of predicted he would be. I see no reason why that won't continue. He's considered one of the top 5 best hitting prospects, best overall prospects in baseball. You definitely should get him. I just added him today because I need some hitting depth bad with Anthony Rendon out for the year. So I had to replace him with somebody. Not a whole lot of good third basemen out there. I initially replaced him with Eugenio Suarez, but he really isn't anything all that special. So I just dropped him today to get Riley Green, because I think Riley Green, even though he's not a third baseman, I think he's going to provide me a lot more value moving forward. I'll end up streaming a third baseman day to day if I have to. Some other guys, G-Man Choi, first baseman for the Rays. Doesn't play against lefties, which is a concern. You're going to have to platoon him. But he plays against righties. He plays well. He hits in a premium spot, in a premium lineup against righties. So that makes him worth owning right there. We got AJ Pollock, an outfielder for the White Sox. He's been hitting really well over the last week. Mike Moustakas, remember him? He's got third base, first base, and DH eligibility now for the Reds. He's finally looking like kind of the Mike Moustakas that we have grown to know and love over the last decade. Obviously, he's aging poorly, but with all the positional flexibility he offers you and a hot bat right now, you can do much worse. Some nice houses back here, not like super rich millionaire houses, but definitely a nice neighborhood. Most of the neighborhoods here, definitely my neighborhood here in Vancouver, is a nice one. Last, Alec Thomas, the young outfielder for the Diamondbacks, is a rookie. I've been kind of like withholding putting him on this list because he hasn't been hitting like, he hasn't been on fire or anything, but he's a very promising young prospect, and he's going to play every day for the Diamondbacks because they are terrible and not going to get better anytime soon. I feel bad for their manager, honestly, Torey Lovullo. I think Torey Lovullo is a good manager. I think he deserves a good team to manage. The Diamondbacks have kind of took the rug out from underneath him over the last couple of years. But I don't think he's probably not going to be there much longer. He's going to land on his feet. Going to be a guy who ends up going to a better situation. Like, I'm not saying my Mariners are a better situation, but I'd love to have a manager like Torey Lovullo after all these years of garbage and ineptitude from Scott Service. I'm kind of checking this place out a little bit, trying to avoid people. So, doing a little exploring, a little hiking, getting my steps in since it's a nice day. Why not? A little campsite tucked away back here. Interesting. Moving on to the pitchers. Heavy slate for Tuesday. I got 5 streamers for you. A little bit less on Wednesday and Thursday, but Tuesday, definitely a day where you could add a bunch of streamers to give you an early lead. And also Tuesday, most of these guys will also pitch for you on Sunday. So that is a perk. Tuesday streamers in not chronological order. Spencer Strider of the Braves versus Giants. Spencer Strider has been far too dominant early on in his career, and he just keeps going deeper and deeper into games, which is going to make him he's going to look better and better. I know the Giants aren't a particularly juicy matchup for him, but I still think he's far too good to be this widely available. He was at 49% when I checked, and I'm assuming before tomorrow morning he'll be over 50. But as of the filming of this video, he was still available in more than 50% of leagues, and he's a guy that we should probably be adding and probably carrying for the rest of the season. Roansy Contreras makes the list again versus the Cubs. I think the Cubs are a really good matchup for him. I think he's going to bounce back after a couple of poor efforts and get back on the right track in this one. Marco Gonzalez, my Mariners against Oakland. Oakland's bad. It's a pitcher-friendly environment. Marco Gonzalez is a better pitcher than what we've seen from him so far. As the weather starts to heat up here in the Pacific Northwest and in places in general, we're now in late June. I think we're going to start seeing some of these guys who have been struggling get out of the funk. I think hopefully that starts with Marco Gonzalez, or hopefully that's true for Marco Gonzalez tomorrow. I'm just in the middle of the woods here at this park. I didn't realize all this was here. Like, I knew about these walking trails and stuff, but like, I didn't realize this little secret, secluded area was here. This is kind of cool. Now I know where to come when I need a private place to make out with somebody. Ha! As if that's ever going to happen again for me. Not in this town. Reed Detmers of the Angels versus the Royals. I know Reed Detmers has been struggling, especially with his walks lately. But I think he's far too promising, far too tantalizing of a prospect, far too, what's the word I'm really looking for here? Too, he was really good in high school, really good in college. I know he's got that no-hitter, so we've seen how good he could be. Too much promise there for us to be this too low on Reed Detmers, especially in a really good matchup against the Royals. I think this could be a very good bounce back day for him. And then Rich Hill, the old man, I think he's like 60, pretty close to 60, against the Tigers. Another good matchup in a game that is forecasted to be cold or coldish, so that could keep the ball on the ground a little more, which should obviously benefit both pitchers. But Rich Hill is the only one who's worth noting. I don't remember who the Tigers starter is, but the Red Sox have a good lineup, so I wouldn't be streaming him. Oh, is it Scooble? I think it's Scooble. I don't think Scooble's in the streaming tier. Anyways, so moving on to Wednesday. I only got one for you, and this is kind of a reach. Ross Stripling of the Blue Jays against the White Sox. I still like Stripling overall throughout his career. He's been above average starter, and the White Sox are struggling a little bit right now, so this could be a game for Ross Stripling to bounce back from his poor performance in his last start. That's all I have for you on Wednesday. I don't have anybody else. And then Thursday, I've only got one as well. It's Jose Quintana of the Pirates versus the Cubs. Quintana's strikeout rate is high. He's getting 5 or more strikeouts pretty much every start. And the Cubs are a good matchup for him. He should be able to continue that strikeout rate. The problem with Jose Quintana is he's not getting any wins because he pitches for Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh is bad. But Jose Quintana should be able to rack up a quality start, which I know in most leagues, quality starts are a traceable, countable stat. Strikeouts are also a countable stat, and ERA is a countable stat. So in those 3 stats, he's been pretty good for you, and there's no reason that shouldn't continue on Thursday against the Cubs. The problem with Wednesday and Thursday is there's still a lot of to be determined matchups, which I think is odd because it's only 2 days away. Wednesday's only 2 days away. Thursday makes a little bit of sense. But Wednesday, they should have more starters announced at this point. Hopefully Jack Flaherty can have a much better start, because I've been high on Flaherty basically his whole career. He's really kind of been disappointing, honestly. He's supposed to be an ace. Hasn't really gotten to that point in his career yet. He's been a good pitcher. Definitely not a great pitcher. I've been overdrafting him in fantasy every single year. Probably really shouldn't have even drafted him at all this year, given the fact that he was out so long. And then now he comes back, pitches like garbage, and then he's only going to throw about 75 pitches tomorrow, which, he can still go out there and pitch really good for the 4-5 innings he throws. But we just have to. I'm just crossing my fingers at this point. Jack Flaherty hasn't gotten to that trustworthy point in his career yet. But hoping for a good start from him. And I don't know, man. I'm a really loyal person, really dedicated person. I'm loyal to a fault. I've been trying to work on that over the last couple of years. I used to be the kind of person who would just never, ever take any time off. I would just work myself to death. I still consider myself a workaholic because there's no reason for me to come home. So I stay at work as long as possible, work as much as possible. I just work for my vacations, basically. But yeah, over the last couple of years, I've been working really hard at just getting out of that mindset that I have to kill myself for a job because they will replace me as soon as I can. I should never value my job more than they value me. I'm still working on that. I'm still working on being. I'm just a loyal person. I stay places longer than I should. I just think eternally optimistic that things are going to get better. But at some point, I've got to look out for me and stop concerning myself with problems of my employer. Whatever staffing problems it is that they have, or whatever the case may be. I've got to look out for myself at some point, right? And if I'm not happy here, I've got to make the best decision for my mental health and not my financial health. Even if I have been really successful here professionally, it's been a shit show personally. So I've lost the friends that I moved here to be close to. I can't find a girlfriend. Can't even get dates. The other friends I made, that I really considered a really good friend, a guy who was really good for my mental health. Really, he was always so upbeat and positive. He ended up leaving Portland. He moved to Florida. And I considered going there because I went and visited him. It's not terrible. Florida's not terrible. It's just so red. It's such a red state, and so humid. I don't like humidity. Oh boy. But you guys, I don't want to keep rambling. This is at normal length now, 18 minutes. So I'm just going to end it. Heading back to my house now anyway. The pertinent information is out there. Yeah, men's mental health is a thing. My mental health is a struggle. I'm unhappy and I'm angry pretty much all the time. I don't really know why I'm angry all the time, but I'm angry almost on a daily basis with my situation, and I try to solve the problem, and I'm just not getting anywhere with it. So I feel like I'm gonna have to remove myself from this place. Find somewhere that's gonna make me mentally feel better mentally. I don't know. That's all I have to say. Peace, love, and nacho fries, friends and followers and fans and whatever you happen to be out there. Good night.